Hey y'all, welcome to this recording of, I guess, what we're going to call the 14-in-1 pre-Christmas, post-Christmas, New Year's comedy special. I will explain that title to you really quickly. If you haven't figured it out, 14-in-1 is a code for NA, 14th letter of the alphabet, first letter of the alphabet. That's in keeping with our traditions that we don't lend the NA name to any related facility or outside enterprise. Pre-Christmas, post-Christmas, New Year's special. This is the story behind that. This was recorded December 18th, 2021 at a Christmas breakfast that some Groups of Narcotics Anonymous got together and decided to put on, actually in the area where I got clean almost 25 years ago as of this recording. When I was thinking about maybe actually putting this recording out and debating it out in my mind, I thought I'll put it out just before Christmas or at Christmas. Christmas came and went. I hadn't done it. Then maybe the post-Christmas special. Turns out it's going to be released on New Year's Day. So there you have it, the pre-Christmas, post-Christmas, New Year's special. Now there are some things that need to be said before you listen to this. A little history on this event, or actually what it was. This was a comedy show that took place after a Christmas breakfast, the one that I just mentioned, that was a function or a service for Narcotics Anonymous. Not a part of Narcotics Anonymous. I would like it said that when they asked me to do this and what my rate was, I told them that I would agree to do this on two conditions: that I not be paid and that nobody be charged to get in, period, end of discussion. I also think it's relevant and just should be noted that this Christmas breakfast itself had a suggested donation at the door. However, this was a no addicts turned away type of thing, and above and beyond that, there was nobody posted at the door collecting money. There was at least one coffee can, maybe two or three in the room where you could drop that money in, or any donation you wanted to make as an NA member to this collection of home groups. But there was nobody enforcing that, nobody checking, nobody asking questions about, can you afford this? I really liked that, and I thought it should be noted. Next item on this little agenda here that I got, I have 3 requests of you. Number 1, I request that you only share this with members of Narcotics Anonymous. That's because this is going to use NA language in the bits that are relevant to NA, and normally on stage I will change things like sponsor to drug counselor. I make it so that in no way is it implied that I am a member of Narcotics Anonymous, so that I do not represent NA in anybody's minds, for obvious reasons known as the traditions. The other part of this is I'm going to ask that if you share this in part or in whole, again, only in NA forums or with NA members, that type of thing, but that you leave this part, this introduction, attached in its entirety, or attach it if you only put out part of it every time, even if you're putting out 30 seconds. That's the request I'm going to make. The third request is nobody is to make money from this. Not a person, not a home group, not for what you think is a noble cause within the traditions. This is not to be used to make money in any regard. It should only be given freely. This is a whole different item on the agenda here. This is not part of Narcotics Anonymous, obviously. This is not a meeting. This is not a recovery talk. This is not any of that stuff. This is some entertainment for addicts after a Christmas breakfast. And so please understand that it's not all NA related. In fact, it's not much NA related at all. We're making jokes about addiction here, making jokes about recovery, and that's maybe roughly half of it. Some of it's just jokes that got nothing to do with any of that. It's pretty much what is currently my routine as a professional comedian. And there are no professionals with NA. That's why we're not getting paid for this, and nobody should be making money from this. Okay. The only other thing that I'm going to say is this material is highly offensive. I recognize that as the person who created it. I didn't know how offensive until this show was actually done. So I'm going to tell y'all a brief little story. Feel free to skip this, but don't cut it out because the warning needs to be there. Look, I had only ever done, there's 2 bits in here. I've only ever done both of the bits within the same set or the same show on one other occasion, and that's because I was being invited back to a venue for the third time, and this time it wasn't the promoter requesting me, it was the people who frequent that venue asking for me specifically to come back. So they knew my sense of humor, they knew the type of material I do, I knew they could handle these highly offensive bits that I usually would only do one or the other. Now, being that this is NA and we a rough and tumble crowd, I figured NA folks can handle it. Hell, a certain percentage of us been to prison. Well, a certain percentage of us did handle it, and I don't think it was necessarily along those lines about who's been to jail or prison or anything like that. This was a packed house. It was going really well. These bits happened just past the 20-minute mark, if I remember correctly. By the time the 2 bits were done, half the room was gone. The other half was laughing hysterically, and of the people who stayed, many of them came up to tell me how great it was, sometimes even specifically with regard to those 2 bits or one or the other. The point I'm making here is this material is so edgy, and it does deal with religion. It's so edgy that NA members walked out, and there was no ambiguity. People, you're not gonna feel in between on this. You're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, but just be aware. And if you're sensitive about your religion at all, this may not be something that you want to listen to. I'm gonna put in one little last disclaimer here, because most people don't understand stand-up comedy. It is my job to make people laugh. That means that even sometimes my opinions are not my own. If you don't know what that means, I'll explain it. Let's just say that one of these hypothetical jokes were to suggest that a very prominent religious figure invented masturbation, and that comedian were to try hard to sell you on that fact. Or something even worse. Okay? That doesn't mean that the comedian in question really believes that that religious figure invented that particular act. Now, does that make sense? If it doesn't, don't listen, because you really ain't ready to get it. And that's not speaking down on anybody. I'm sorry this intro has taken almost 8 minutes, but I've tried this numerous times in numerous ways. That's about as quick as I can get it all in. So y'all have the pertinent information you need. If you choose to go forward and listen to this, enjoy the show. Oh, by the way, the crowd that walked, they were also warned before the show. Anyway, if you end up offended, call your sponsor and do not say you weren't warned. Other than that, enjoy it if you continue from here. Happy New Year.
Okay, this man, he's been around for fucking years, man. This guy, man, I remember when I first came into the rooms, man. Saw this guy, man. I knew there was a connection between us and our higher powers, man. And I love this guy to death, man. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for his help too, you know. And he's about ready to fucking roast me, man. So this is gonna be good. I hope he has some good shit to say about me, or some really bad shit. All right, let's go. Give a round of applause for Chuck Fury. Okay, round of applause.
Hey, this is, I don't know if you know what this is. This is called a mic condom. I'm not really afraid of COVID, I just don't want to give y'all mine. Now, it is supposed to be for germs. I just wanted to try it out. They say it feels exactly like the real thing. We'll see. What the fuck did happen to Santa Claus? Y'all skinny. No, you did nail it though, man. You look like exactly what Santa would look like if he was addicted to meth. Motherfucker look like ZZ Top fucked the Christmas tree. I know, I'm sorry. I just didn't know the North Pole was in a fucking trailer park. I love you. It's weird though. Santa looked just like, he looked like the illegitimate child of like Mrs. Claus and Eddie Adequomi for some reason. Hey, it's been a while. Some things I gotta let you know. I do have pronouns now. My pronouns are that motherfucker and this motherfucker. I didn't choose them, they chose me. It's just the way people talk about me. Instead of saying he or him, they say like, Chuck Fury. that motherfucker ain't shit. This motherfucker looks more like Tyson Fury. Had a baby with Shrek. Motherfuckers. I just lean into it though. I'm like, this right, I am that motherfucker. In fact, I'm that grand motherfucker. Because I don't fuck all the grandmas. They're old enough to bend over a walker, they're in the right position. Hey, being that this is an NA thing, before we really get going, I want to show you this poem that I wrote in early recovery. So like, it might be a little cheesy, but just bear with me. I used to battle the beast, and it would feast on my soul. I know, trapped from an early age can't grow. Past guilt, doubt, fears, lost years. Blood, sweat, confusion, and tears. I popped a pill and I feel surreal, the new deal. Survival and serenity's guys takes my will. I gotta feel this way all the time. Damn, I was only 9. I call that my babysitter molested me, and that's why I'm a drug addict who's been divorced 3 times and does comedy to help me cope. So please laugh at all my jokes. I don't have to murder every last one of you motherfuckers. The subtitle is, dude, I fucked my babysitter. Hey, I gotta explain my name. Most of y'all know me as like Chubbs or Chubbs the Addict. Just a fucking stage name. It's actually closer to my birth name than Chuck, believe it or not. I've actually gone by Chuck outside of NA for years, but it's more just like a traditions thing. But if it bothers you, I mean, did you really think Chubbs the Addict was on my fucking birth certificate? Yep. Chuck Fury's not either, but, you know, I don't throw shade like Chuck Fury, motherfuckers. Thought you knew, Eddie. Eddie kind of already gave a disclaimer, but just in case you wondered, this is not a fucking meeting, okay? Like, you are not going to hear any recovery shit at all. We are going to make fun of addiction, but no recovery. So, you might leave here needing to call your sponsor, that's all I'm saying. I'm glad to be here, though, because it's usually when I do my act, because of the traditions, I have to modify the language, like say shit like drug counselor instead of sponsor, because I don't want to represent or talk for NA or even put it out there that I'm a member. And yeah, that's kind of cool. The other cool thing, though, is that I'm usually, just no bullshit, not allowed to perform in Utah County. There's like one venue that has comedy shows once a month they let me perform at, but the actual comedy clubs, they don't let me in there, and it's just because they got this thing they do called clean comedy. Clean comedy. And I did get to do an open mic there once, but they kicked me out after my first joke. And they were rude to me too. They were like, what don't you understand about there might be children in the audience? And it's like, I did understand it. Y'all act like I didn't change anything. It's not like I came up on the stage and was like, yeah, and then I was fucking her in the ass. I very clearly said, then I did the special mommy daddy thing in her bum. I don't know what the fuck the problem was. I really don't. And it is not like I don't self-censor. I do rein myself in. I really, really do. Like, there are some things I don't do. Like, I don't do child abuse, animal abuse, sexual abuse, or the R word. And the only exception to that is when I am raping retarded baby penguins, goddammit. But that's like, I got a good reason for it. If you Google seals raping penguins, no shit, adult seals will rape the shit out of baby penguins. I'm just protecting them from the adult seals. It's like, you should really fucking thank me or something. This is cool for me because part of this laziness, I've only been in one face-to-face NA meeting since COVID started, and part of it is just I got lazy in doing the Zoom thing. But I go out of town a lot, so I went to this meeting in Vegas, but I got stuck in St. George, no bullshit coming back. I was stuck for 2 weeks. I almost didn't know if I was going to make it here. I had a slow leak in my tire, and 2 of them were balls. I'm like, shit, I got to get some tires. So I ordered these tires online, $70 advertised. I go in to get the tires, and the dude behind the counter is like, yeah, man, we don't have the $70 tires. You have to order those and wait, but we got these $150 tires you can buy right now. And I was like, no, man. Order the tires, I don't want to do no bait and switch. And he goes, no, it's not a bait and switch. We advertise that. It's just none of our stores carry those tires. We keep them in a warehouse in California, so you have to wait for the really cheap tires. But you can buy these $150 tires right now. And I was like, dude, you just said it's not the thing, and then described the thing. I didn't know that was the rule. That would have saved me some ass whoopings when I was younger. I've been like, no, sir, I was not fucking your daughter. She just lets me put my penis in her vagina so I can come. It's not the same thing. Be honest, this is like, yeah. It's kind of weird for me too, because I know a lot of y'all. I never perform in front of people I know this well. I'm glad y'all are laughing, because I'm usually not scared to do this, because I do this professionally now, but I was scared as shit. I ain't gonna lie. I was lying to some of y'all earlier. Nah, I ain't nervous. Shit, I was sweating bullets. But down at that meeting I went to in Vegas, though, I mean, luckily I got some time, and I know this is not anything. I got robbed after the fucking meeting, y'all. It was like, I met this girl, all right? Now, I spent almost my last $70 getting a motel room because I live in my car and I couldn't take her back there. I woke up the next morning and she was gone, which would have been a good thing, but my wallet was gone with her. Now, at first, I didn't think that she actually took my wallet. I thought I just misplaced it because my car keys were still there. I was like, well, why wouldn't she steal my car? And then I remembered I drive a Honda Fit. Before I could figure out what to do, though, she came back to chastise me for being broke. And she was angry. She was like, you have all your credit cards maxed out. There's only $2 in your wallet. I thought you were a famous comedian. And I was like, you met me at an NA meeting in the hood. What in the world would make you think I was a famous comedian? And she said, well, I don't know, maybe it was when you were staring at me and I said, do I know you? And you said, well, you should, I'm a famous comedian. And then she got really real on me and made me reflect. And she said, don't you think it's just a little bit rapey to pretend to be something you're not to get laid? The only thing I could think to say back was, yeah, well, the only reason you slept with me was so you could rob me, and that's not very nice. Come to think of it, that's about the nicest way you could rob somebody. So, thank you for a lovely evening. This does still feel weird to me, just that I know it's kind of like, it's almost like when you have a sex with somebody new, but you've been friends for years. I'm trying to figure out like what gets you off. What I'm trying to say is this is going to be like bad sex, right? Like, you either going to laugh at me or be embarrassed for me, and this is only going to last a few minutes. That few minutes, it might seem like an eternity, or right when it's getting good, I'm going to be done. Either way, I am going to spew all over you, and you're probably going home disappointed. It's also like creepy sex in that I am recording this, and it might end up on the internet later. I'm just kidding. The picture will not end up on the internet. The audio may end up in some NA forums. The real reason I record, a lot of comedians do this, especially when they start now, that it helps us work on our delivery and our body language. A lot of times you watch the tape back, and you realize you were doing things subconsciously that you didn't know you were doing. I'll give you a few examples. This is something that's not big, but you're not supposed to do it. In Salt Lake one time, I stood with my hands in my pocket for about a minute, didn't even know I was doing it. In Vegas once, you'll actually probably notice me doing this at some point today, I rubbed my head for like half of my set. The worst one though was this one time I just jerked off all over the stage. Had no clue I had done it. And that's why I'm not allowed in Chuck E. Cheese anymore. Oh, shit. No, so really, if I do something today that is a little odd or unusual, just please understand, look, I'm just going to be real honest about my clean time, okay? I've only been clean about 24 years now. I don't know, a lot of you probably like me. When I first came in, I really didn't want to get clean. I kind of had to. You know how some people smoke a little weed and then have deep, meaningful insights into the nature of the universe? Yeah, I don't do that. I smoked too much PCP, take off all my clothes, and run down the street in the middle of December with a sock on my cock yelling, "It's Nancy time." According to the police report. You know, the cool thing about being an addict, though, is sometimes I don't have to write jokes. I just stand up here and tell y'all what I did. Obviously, eventually I did lose the desire to use at some point, and I thought through step work I had become a better person. And then I realized it's really just that I no longer need to be inebriated in order to be my true self, a degenerate asshole. In treatment, they call that owning your behaviors. I kind of have to own my behaviors now, though, because motherfuckers know I can actually remember what I did the night before. And it's got me saying real weird shit like, "No, man, I absolutely did not have sex with your niece last night. She might have gave me a little blowjob, but that's it. Sorry, Dad. I don't know what to tell you." Hey, come on, y'all. I'm just kidding. That didn't really happen. Nah, I did not apologize. You know, it really fucked me up when I first came in. I was not prepared to hear that alcohol is a drug shit, right? I almost just started like having my own definition of clean time. But yeah, then I really thought about it. It's like, I really don't drink like a normal person does, and maybe alcohol is a drug. It's just like, yeah, even a lot of addicts, not just normies, a lot of addicts will have like these epic drinking stories, right? I don't have those. The closest I come to epic is at least nobody died or went to jail this time. There's one time back in the early 90s, as near as I'm going to be able to remember, me and my boys went to this titty bar. Now, once we were sufficiently inebriated and getting ready to depart for the evening, this rumor started going around that Metallica was actually coming into the club, and they were in town. We decided we're not going to wait around to see if some rumor's true, right? But the wait staff, they were all excited. They're like roping off a VIP section. I don't know, I guess that's how you turn a titty bar into a gentleman's club. But we head for the front door. No bullshit. No sooner did we hit the lobby than in walks Metallica, and they actually got no security. My mind was blown. We're standing face to face with these guys. They're in a good mood. They're joking. They're laughing. This story should go something like, "Yo, didn't we get shots with Metallica? Smoked a little Thai bud. Went back to their room and partied with strippers all night." Dude, it was epic. But that is not the way this story goes. No, see, because some fucking asshole that we were with decided it would be a better idea if he tried to fight Metallica, but then instead throw up all over himself and pass out on his way to the mother of all tequila hangovers. Now, as it happens, that fucking asshole might have been me. But this time, at least nobody died and went to jail. I need a drink, y'all, sorry. I'm getting cotton-mouthed, but for the right reasons for once. Now, I trip out when I talk to normies sometimes, because I don't know if y'all have this experience, but a lot of times people who aren't addicts think they have to identify with me on every level to make a connection. And it's really weird. This lady the other day told me, "Oh, I know exactly what you went through. I'm addicted to chocolate." "Really, chocolate? I had no idea you were missing all that time from Relief Society, strung out on chocolate." To tell you the truth, I'm a little bit offended. You never offered to suck my dick for no chocolate. One of my boys told me he's addicted to coffee. I was like, "Why are you addicted to caffeine?" He said, "Yeah, bro, I can't even get going in the morning without it." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's what it's for. And what, next you're going to tell me you're addicted to aspirin because you can't get rid of your headache without it?" Motherfucker, call me when you need coffee to go to sleep, man. It's like, look, man, caffeine addiction is what drug addicts do when we get off of real drugs. Like, what, are you practicing for meth? Dude, have you ever been to a 12-step meeting? Like, once you fight your way through the cloud of vape and cigarette smoke to get to the front door, you'll find like 12 motherfuckers around the table with energy drinks and 6 pots of coffee brewed so thick you have to chew it. And then he said, "No, man, you don't understand. I can't live without it." Then I felt like an asshole because that sounded familiar. And I was like, well, maybe I was wrong. Let me ask you this. If they made caffeine illegal tomorrow, and then you found out you could buy a kilo, but it was going to cost you $10,000, would you do anything in your power to get that break? And he thought about it for a minute, and then he said, yeah, absolutely. That's like $20,000 worth of Red Bull. You're like, see, motherfucker, you ain't no addict. An addict ain't gonna waste that kind of time making sure he's getting a fucking bargain, all right? But I ain't gonna buy that shit anyway. He said, well, what would you do? I said, now I know this. I'm gonna wait for you to buy it and shoot you in the face. He was hurt. He said, I thought we were friends. I said, we are, and that's how I know you're not an addict. Because you would know that friendship shit does not matter if you're really addicted. Now, pornography addiction is real. What? I read about it. I can't read. It was not on a website, you motherfucker. Now, it's actually really cool because they have identified not only the preconditional genome, but the environmental causal factors, what the treatment industry likes to refer to as triggers or some shit like that, right? Now, the genetic part is kind of what they always suspected. It's more associated with the Y chromosome, and this is a condition more commonly known as being born with a penis. Now, most men, almost all men at some point actually will go through a period of regular pornography consumption in their lifetimes, but only a fraction of them will become addicts. Now, a man who consumes porn regularly becomes an addict when he gets in a relationship with a woman who's not cool with that. Now, unlike other forms of addiction, though, it will just disappear out of nowhere. The minute that relationship is over, he ceases to be an addict, even though his porn consumption does increase. They have not figured that out yet, and I haven't figured out how to end that joke, but this is a free show, motherfuckers. Hey, this bandana is not what you think. I joined a gang. It's called Fat Fuckers Who Sweat on Stage Too Much. Oh, shit. Oh, man. No, when I first got clean, my sponsor was really adamant about having a spiritual program. And I was like, yeah, I got that covered, man. I masturbate religiously. He was not amused. He was going to ask me, what would Jesus do? So what would Jesus do? About jerking off? Yo, this motherfucker's 2,000 years old and he never had no pussy. I'm pretty sure he invented it. I said, hey, it's gonna get deeper. Y'all can't handle that, you might as well leave it out. No, see, I don't even think it's a sin. What commandment is that? Where is this elusive Bible verse that says, thou shalt not pleasure thy member? What if I go my entire life and I refrain from this immensely pleasurable activity, and then I die and Jesus walks up and goes, hey, you know you could have been jerking off the whole time, right? What if it is a sin, though? What if Jesus actually died for your sins? That would mean every time you don't touch yourself, it's like Jesus died for nothing. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't want that shit on my conscience. I really don't. And I don't want to seem ungrateful either. I mean, this perfectly good masturbation is already paid for. And it was expensive. Jesus went to all that trouble, it'd be a shame to let it go to waste. That's right, y'all, I'm jerking for Jesus. Can I get an amen? That's the motherfuckers who's going to hell with me this evening. I'll throw down for real though. I throw down that furious fist action for real. Like I throw furiosity. I fucking Chuck Fury. That joke is gonna be funnier when people remember my name. That's why I wear this shirt. Shit, I heard some disturbing shit the other day though. One of my friends told me about this theory that Jesus was actually married. And that's not the disturbing part to me at all. I just stood up here and tried to convince you that Jesus invented masturbation. But the weird part was he said that his wife was Mary Magdalene. And I was like, yo, you know she was a hooker, right? Like, I ain't got nothing against prostitutes. You just have to put this in its proper context. Like, Jesus, he walking around with this beautiful shoulder-length hair. He wearing a bathrobe in public, right? He talking mad shit about he's the King of Kings. Hanging out with prostitutes who are washing his feet and oiling his motherfucking toes. There's no way he was her husband because he was obviously her pimp. I'm walking motherfuckers already, but I'm not gonna stop. And look, don't be mad at me. Look, I'm not the one suggesting he was tapping that ass. I'm just saying he might have been selling it as all. Really, I just like thinking about Jesus talking pimp shit. Like, Bitch better have my frankincense. I'm gonna make my myrrh. It would explain a lot of shit that's in the Bible too. A lot of shit could be explained just by Jesus talking pimp shit. Yeah, player, that's right. My staple is divine. Because he's so fine makes water taste like wine. It's like the kingdom of heaven in here. But you can only come to the kingdom of heaven through me. Big Pimpin' JC. That's right, you can call me God, son. Excuse me, Big Pimpin', are you saying call you God, son, or that you're God's son? Shit, it don't even matter, player, because I'm the Alpha and the Omega. Hey, check it out, man. I got this new potion. Lets you fuck all night. I call it the resurrection. I got some of that juice right here. Yeah, I got all the juice. Matter of fact, I'm the king of the juice. Hey, that one's corny, but I like it too much, so I put it in. Even the miracle of the loaves and the fish, and then I'm going to leave Jesus alone. Even the miracle of the loaves and fish can be explained if Jesus was a pimp. And if you're not familiar, it's in all four Gospels. It basically says that Jesus served an entire festival of people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And I'm just thinking, these are yeast-based products. I mean, what if Jesus just served an entire party with 5 prostitutes with yeast infections and 2 that just had stinky pussies? I don't know. I'd be like, nah, Jesus, I'll just be over here jerking off, all right? I think that's as bad as it's going to get y'all. So if you haven't, I know I don't walk half the crowd, but that's a badge of honor to me, because I'm a sick fuck. Those of you who are going to hell with me, though, I will put in a good word for you. Not what God was saying. I'm one of his best workers. When I first started, when I first got into recovery, I used to hang out with this cat, no bullshit. He refused to masturbate because he thought that would make him gay. We'll just call him Leroy because that was his name. Also, he's dead now, and I don't think he'll care if I tell you this story. Rest in peace, Leroy. And I couldn't wrap my head around this at all. It was the most ignorant shit I had ever heard. So Leroy decided he needed to explain it to me one day. He looked me dead in the eye and he said, think about it. Every time you touch yourself, you get sexual gratification from a male hand manipulating your genitals. And that is a homosexual act. So I looked him dead in the eye and I said, Leroy, I'm gay. Now he did immediately apologize. He was like, hey, look, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't know you were gay. I was like, yeah, neither did I until you told me that shit. Now he was all kinds of confused. He's going, I don't understand, so you're not gay? And I'm going, yeah, I'm pretty sure one of us is. Look, man, either you are the world's biggest closet case, or your logic is correct, in which case, I might be the gayest man who has ever walked the earth. And you can quit jerking off if you want to, Michelle. I'm gonna buy a pride flag and stay fabulous. I know some of you don't want to laugh at that. I understand. One of my gay friends, he was actually a comic, got mad at me the first time I ever told that joke. I didn't understand. I was like, how you gonna be mad at me for Leroy's homophobia? But he explained, he said, you used the word fabulous and that's a stereotype. I was like, I know, motherfucker, that's why I said it. It wouldn't be a punchline if it wasn't a stereotype. Besides, you say it all the time. And he said, yeah, but when I say it, it's okay because I'm gay. When someone like you says it, it's offensive. I was kind of upset. It's like someone like me. Motherfucker, you've known me for years. We've been on road trips together. We have stayed in our same hotel room. We've even slept in the same bed. Hell, I have showered in front of you at the gym. What I gotta do, suck your dick to prove I'm not homophobic? Man, I am not falling for that shit twice. I want to keep going, but I think we've had all the offensiveness and blasphemy that we can handle. I do want to thank y'all for coming out and watching me do this. And look, I don't know if this was epic, but we did get through the whole thing, and at least nobody died or went to jail. Right. Thursday.